Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm Tren,
I'm Lou.
and we are the tarot dealers.
We are. We've got over 50 years experience between us and a
Exactly.
whole lot of things to offer and a whole lot of things to share.
Exactly. And we are both about to start teaching and working at Elemental Connections in Capalaba in Australia.
Yeah.
So if you want to contact us through our socials, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I had to think then.
We've even got an email address.
And then, yeah, even
The tarot dealers at gmail.com. I actually got it right.
And Lou has a website.
I do. I have a website, lulufletcher.com.au. You will find all kinds of things on there. You'll find meditations, you'll find some free tarot content, you'll find some self-paced tarot content on there, all kinds of workshops, all different levels. So dive on there, have a look. I also have I'm a published author of the book Tarot Tells, which is my own modality. You'll find that on there. There's also a little mini teasing workshop that goes with that. And at the end of that, you answer your questions by email, which come to me, and I answer your questions personally. Oh, wow. So there's that as well. There's a whole range of meditating with the mages, whole lot of stuff. Go have a look, check it out. We do offer all these different things. Trina has her own modality as well, which is tarot and tapping, right? So dealing with all the emotional stuff, which I think is a really good lead in to today's segment. Yes. And today's session, because we're looking at things around mental health. Yes. And we decided that we'd bring Mitch back. Yes, because you all loved Mitch before. Yeah. We had a few suggestions that we need to bring Mitch back. So we did. We did. And Mitch has a different way of looking at things, which is what I love. Yes. So I don't want to have everyone blind spotted by, like mental health is all around the swords and all that kind of stuff, because it's just not. And Mitch has a unique way of getting us to look at that. So that's why Mitch is here. Hello, exactly. Mitch.
Hello, Mitch.
Back by popular demand.
Back by popular demand. So we're going to get straight into that segment. Yes. Let's go. Tell me what you've been talking about.
So we have been talking about, or Mitch contacted me a while back and was asking what tarot cards represent, well, mental health in general, but what the toll it takes on your body and your physical body and your mental health. So we sort of pulled cards out and we discussed them, didn't we?
It's a different take, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like how is your body impacted?
Yes.
And it's true, because your body does get impacted, right? But how often do we ignore that?
Well, all the time, don't we?
Yeah. Or you go to a doctor and they'll say, basically, oh, it's all in your head. Yeah. And no, there's an impact. So I really like that question. Yeah. So talk us through some of the stuff.
So when he first contacted me, we were talking, he was asking about the toll it takes.
Okay.
And he was asking me what card did I think represented the toll. And I went, oh, I don't know. And he said, the Hermit.
Yeah.
You talk
me through the Hermit. Why do you think it's the Hermit?
Because that's what you suggested first up, the Hermit. And we are using the Light Seers deck, by the way. Mitch has the Light Seers deck. And this is the one that he resonates with most clearly. So everything we are talking about will be with the Light Seers deck. So now you said the Hermit first up. So I'm going to show you the Hermit. There it is. So I'm covering Mitch's face, but can you talk us through how you came to that decision about the Hermit taking a toll on your body and your mental health?
Yeah. Well, I think I should start with I'm a first aider for hockey, so that's where the mental toll and physical toll has come in. The Hermit I look at because of the stairs and the steepness and just how you have to get up there. You've got to go through a lot of ups and downs, or mostly ups.
By the way, you can swear on here.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
We do swear.
Oh yeah, we forgot to say that. Yeah.
So you sort of look at it and just all you see is hills. So
I'm going to show you. So it's like steep climb.
Yeah.
And so when you get up to here, is that where you are in a better place, or you are just feeling a little bit better?
Well, I think it's how you're feeling on the day.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I was sort of thinking or overthinking about a course I was doing for my first aid, because I was going to go a level up
Yeah,
with my first aid. So I was thinking, oh, how am I going to go? Am I thinking it too much? Am I not thinking about it too much? So I looked at that kind of, well, how am I looking at it type of way? Because as I spoke to you, you said, well,
Yeah.
this either could be you're going up in the world, and as the person sitting up on the rock or
the hill or the
just in the air,
yeah.
you sort of said, are they looking out of where they've come from or how far they've come?
Yeah, and to be proud of themselves from
Yeah.
where they've come from to where they are now. Yes.
Yeah. And all sort of that. But I just think, I think it's all depending on how you think. You think they're in the air or they're not really sitting on anything. Have they just passed and that's it, they're done?
Maybe, but
Can I ask you a question, Mitch?
yeah.
Have you looked up what the hermit means according to the books?
No, I haven't looked it up yet.
Okay, I'm going to jump in right now. This is fucking epic, and why it's epic, and this is why I love the different take on it, when people really trust and use their intuition, right? The hermit typically can mean, on its shadow aspect, isolation, loneliness, the drudgery of working on things alone. What the fuck? Now,
Yeah.
That just says mental health right then and there.
Yeah.
absolutely, right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Mitch didn't look at his book for that. And that's what I'm loving about this, because there is this connection when you really sit with what you're feeling and what the picture is telling you. You find it without the book, which is what I love, right? So that is exactly right. And I'm just going to, I know we said we're dealing with the Light Seers deck, and I'm just going to show you the Rider-Waite deck and how sometimes a different deck, you're best to experiment with all of them, I feel, those that you resonate with. Because when we look at the Hermit here, it's an insinuation that he's on top of a mountain, that he's made it to the top of a mountain. But
Yes.
that piece of information to look at, if someone didn't know that, would be missed.
Exactly. Where
Right?
on the Light Seers, it shows you exactly the path they've had to take
to get there,
get to the top
right?
of the mountain.
And yet it shows, this card does clearly show you the isolation and the loneliness, right? Because he is alone, right? When we look at it from that point of view. So I just wanted to ask you that, because as Mitch was saying all those things, I'm like, did he fucking check the book or what? Like, because it's like so accurate. So I can see how that would be a toll on your body, because you've had to climb up there and then you've got to stop, you've got to rest, you feel all the things, right?
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, and then he went on to the Page of Swords, didn't you?
Yeah.
Sort of discussing how this, and I remember this discussion we had, because you were saying, even though she's walking across a sword, to me it's a tightrope. I will show you that. And he's saying,
I've never fucking seen that. Give me a look at that. Give me a look at that. I'll be buggered.
And what you said, looking at the Light Seers deck, you said, because I saw those as balloons, but Mitchell saw them as light bulbs.
Yeah, they are like, I see them as light bulbs too. Yeah.
So it's like, these are like, you tell them.
Oh my God. And look, 1, 2, 3, 4 light bulbs, and the fifth is
the fifth, I didn't even see that.
Oh my God. What the fuck? So looking at the Light Seers deck, the figure is holding 4 light bulbs / balloons in the air, and the fifth one is across the bottom, which is the tightrope or the sword that she's straddling or walking across.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my God, Mitch, we need you on here more often, mate.
Exactly.
Yeah, wow.
So you were saying, you can explain it, but I've written in the notes, it's like, because she's reading a book, is she asking for help or learning more?
Yeah.
Learning more, and then walking across the sword or the tightrope, is she taking different paths?
Yeah.
So you can
But
explain.
then I sort of looked at it as, like you said, balloons, where I see light bulbs, and I'm thinking, is she reading, but is she getting ideas?
Ideas being the key thing.
But then I'm sort of thinking, like, is she being lifted up, or is she walking a tightrope with these ideas?
No, it's her choice, isn't it?
Yeah, because I think I said to you, one hand she's being lifted up by the light bulbs or balloons,
Yeah.
but is she being held down by the book?
Oh. Now
She's
that's
got-
interesting
She's got
too.
one hand holding up and then the other one is holding the book, which is down.
So is she wanting to take off with her own ideas,
Yeah.
but society and everything is holding her down?
Yeah, like is she not ready to take the ideas,
And move forward with
yeah,
them.
and move forward?
Interesting.
Interesting, because I'm wondering now, you got me thinking in a completely different way. I'm wondering if the book is like the feeling like she has to have the knowledge
Yeah.
to move forward, when actually she doesn't.
She's already got the idea.
She's already
She's
got the idea,
what
she can go. So to me, that speaks into a lot of overthinking.
Again, you said about the overthinking before.
Yeah,
So it ties in, doesn't it? But
Yeah.
and that's mental health. When we get into our head,
yeah,
sometimes we can't see clearly, we can't see the answers. So yeah, that ties
Yeah.
in with the hermit again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm.
Now you've got the Ace of Wands right beside it. So
Yeah.
it's like, how would you describe it as burning desire or burning you?
should I put that up there so everyone can see?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So a burning desire or a burning,
Burning you.
Yeah.
Are you burning up inside? Is that what you
Well,
meant?
well, that's why, because like, as the design is, it's in her head,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking, is that the fire that's burning desire to go further, or is that just burning inside of her?
And
Like,
consuming her.
Yeah, consuming her, like being disastrous.
Hmm.
fascinating. I love the new look and the new take in how to think and the challenging of the traditional meanings, right? Because traditionally that can be like
It's all new beginnings.
all
isn't
new
it?
beginnings
Yeah, it
and
is.
lighting you up.
Yeah.
But I like how, and it can be passion and all the things, right? But when you look at it from a genuine point of curiosity, which is what's happening, right? And you go, well, I wonder if this person, it's in her head, so therefore that speaks to the mental issues and the thoughts,
Yeah.
right? Even though it's a wand,
It's a wand.
right? It speaks to that. And then the fire, is it like burning all that away? And then think about a fire, right? Because a fire can, and it does often, have to level the playing ground, bring it back to its absolute basics, burn it to the ground before we then have the new starting
Exactly.
point, right?
Yes.
So in here is that, I love that. Is that burning away the ideas that we've had previously?
Yes.
Or is that actually allowing for space
But
to
then
come up? But either way, the fact that you've connected that to mental health in the way that you've connected it, I think is really clever.
yeah, it is, isn't it? It's fascinating.
Yes. I actually like being challenged on that. Yeah, I like being challenged in a way to get out of the blind spots, right? Because I don't know about you guys, but doing it for a long time, that's fantastic. And yeah, there's a shit ton of experience there. But what I find is that sometimes I can get caught up in the whole, oh, that means that.
Exactly. When we don't look further, do
And
we?
don't look further. So I love the challenge to look further in a different way. So it's,
Look at fresh eyes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
oh yeah, definitely fresh eyes.
Mm.
Love the fresh eye
Yeah.
aspect, yeah.
And then you've moved on to the Five of Swords. Now the five in the Light Seers, it's this one. So again, quite literally, he's in his head. Even that
Yeah.
body language, he's up in his head, isn't he? And what did you say? Yes, taking the toll. You've mentally come so far. And it's like, can I go any further? So I'm looking at your notes and it's got,
Yeah,
are you looking in the mirror, but don't give up?
yeah. Well, so then I said to you, I'm kind of a movie buff.
Mhm.
I said to you, like, if anyone's seen Lord of the Rings, which is probably everyone has, it's sort of like someone gets a message, and because of the crows are so many, and in the background there's someone standing there with their arms, I'm like, yes, I'm free. But then thinking, are the crows coming to put him down? You know,
Mhm.
to give him the same, because he's in his head. But then I'm thinking, are the crows coming to put that man down as well?
Or like we discussed, I'm just going to show, there's light coming down onto that person. Are the crows bringing an idea or messages of hope to this person? You know, even though this is the main figure, is this the same person? in the future.
There's second figure on the card you're
second figure
referring
on the
to,
card,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So is it like, yes, you're in your head at the moment, but with that crow sitting on your shoulder, just say, are there solutions coming that you can go and find the light, find a positive? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Did I read it right for you?
Yeah, that's fascinating because like when I see that, and this is going to come back to the whole fucking stuck in your old ways of thinking patterning stuff, right? When I looked at that card, I'm like, oh, look at that crow. It's like that inner voice, that inner critic telling you shitty
Yes.
things,
Yes.
right?
And it could be, couldn't it?
It could be. However, look at the light.
Yeah,
I
look
didn't
at
even
that light.
notice the dude in the background. Like, what? So, yeah, so I feel like, and the crows are in a trail, aren't they? Like
Yes.
there's more than one
There's-
of them.
yeah.
And I wonder, look at that.
Because they are coming up and down into the light, aren't they?
They are. It's like they come from this side of the card and then make their way around that way.
So
That's
yeah.
fascinating too.
So would you say that even though in this card represents you in your head at the moment, but there is hope that you
Yeah.
will not stay in this
Yeah.
position?
Oh, hands down. Yeah. I can't believe you see this shit, Mitch. Like, how long have you been doing this again? Like, what?
Not long, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, not long. And that's what I love, like to be curious, to not get the books out, because this is where it can take you. And yeah, like that's just really, really fascinating. I love having a discussion about what do you see? What do I see?
Yeah,
What does it mean for
Yeah.
like mental health in this
exactly.
particular
Yeah,
thing? I
'cause-
love that.
and we've gone on to the Eight of Cups. So again, it's sort of saying, you're walking away from all your problems, or
Are you?
are you? Or
Yeah.
are you giving up? What did you say, Mitch?
You're going to read the notes for me because I can't remember saying anything about that one.
Moving toward the light and hope.
I was just going to say, or are
Yeah.
you heading in a
Yeah.
different direction?
So
Yeah.
have you, because the cups, when you look at the card, there is one cup that's on the surface, but there a lot have been sunken.
Give me a look at that. I haven't seen half of it.
Because in the bowl, you got the fire.
Oh, yeah.
So is that burning the past? Or is
Oh
that
God,
burning?
is it? Oh, I didn't even see that. Yeah.
Well, it's got the fire in the bowl that's still up there.
It's like-
I love that we're seeing this differently now. I didn't even notice those cups that had been sunken, which
Yeah, well,
But
I didn't see that either.
might be a bit hard to see, but they are.
yeah,
got
get
the
a
shadows
Light
in it.
Seers deck and check
Yeah.
it out. Yeah, that's a really fascinating thing. So have we suppressed those emotions when we
suppress-
think
yeah.
about a cup, right?
Yeah.
Have we hidden, are they dwelling, or have we just gone, fuck it?
Exactly.
I like the take that you said about moving into the light
Yes.
here, because the light's rising, right? So we could see it as rising or setting, right? But I like that. Actually,
but
either or wouldn't matter.
It's the light,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
You're moving more towards, or as Mitch said, you're moving to the hope. You can see the
Yeah.
hope now, can't you?
You can see the hope now, Tren.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, and you sort of, well, you're leaving behind a lot of shit, basically. And that could be, I know you haven't said it, Mitch, but it could be that you are just leaving behind a lot of stuff that just doesn't work anymore. Maybe you've found better strategies
Yeah, absolutely.
and you're leaving behind
Yeah.
a lot of stuff that doesn't work.
Yeah. And I mean, some of the stuff that we're talking about is what the card actually
It
is
isn't it?
supposed to traditionally mean.
Yeah,
What I'm fascinated about is seeing the different things from a different point of
Exactly.
view about a specific topic, this
Yeah.
one being mental health,
Mental health,
right?
yeah.
And going, how does that relate to that?
Yeah. And then you've moved on to the Ten of Wands. And again, the Light Seers, again, it's very much moving away. So have you packed up all your shit and said, I've had enough and I'm gone?
Throwing your toys out of the cart. Yeah.
Well, I've got to find your notes for the Ten of Wands. Oh, it's the one thing I didn't write notes about.
Okay.
So you're going to have to explain that one.
Yeah, because I can't remember what I said either. Happened a couple of weeks ago. So I can't remember what I said either because I just had too much on my mind.
Yeah.
I think this sort of goes different ways depending on how you're looking at it, because I come to you and said, this whole start was the toll, you know.
Yeah.
Am I packing too much on myself?
Are you taking on too much on
Yeah.
board? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
Because,
taking, and this is going back to what I know about the Ten of Wands, but are you taking on more stuff that's not even yours?
yeah,
You know, are you packing other people's problems and worrying about other people's problems?
yeah,
So you could do that too.
yeah,
But again, you know, you read the card, so.
yeah.
But I'm looking at the pathway. Are you sort of finally finding your way out of a certain situation?
Well, there's that too. I think you did an episode of one walking in the forest or making a path
Yeah.
that I asked a question that you said about lighting the way or leaving a trail.
Okay.
So maybe that's
Maybe that's. I
maybe
can't remember.
I'm leaving that as a trail for myself.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you did say that.
Um,
Yes.
Because maybe if I go, depending on which way, if I go straight, right, or left, not going backwards.
Mhm.
But what if I go one way, but I get turned around and I find the path that I've already walked,
Yeah.
and I see someone on that same path that I can help to say,
Yeah.
I went this way, this didn't help, try this other way.
Could do that too.
Do you think that the I went this way, try this other way is from the lights?
Yes.
Or how did, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like, how did you get that?
that's the
Yeah.
way that I've come.
So,
So I've got
so,
experience that way. That's my experience. So I went this way.
so you're lighting the path for others by
Yeah.
leaving like little breadcrumbs sort
Yeah.
of thing to say, this is where I've been.
Yeah, this is what it did to me. Maybe it's different for you, but this
Okay.
is what you might expect. But that's my point.
Your point. Okay, cool. All right, then we go on to the Nine of Swords. Interesting, we have a lot of swords.
Yeah.
But like we said, swords do represent the mental side of that thing. So the Nine of Swords. And Mitch had, you've got no other distractions. But again, you're really seeing the hope in these cards because you pointed out the white bird up the top. And you said it represents the light coming through. So in the darkness, the light is shining.
Oh, yeah.
So you can sort of see the light is kind of pushing the darkness away.
So you really are focusing on the hope.
Yeah.
So yes, you could be in that mental state where you're feeling you're just burdened completely, but you yourself, looking at these cards, always find the light and find the hope.
Yeah.
You know what dropped in my head about like the whole mental health thing and the light and all of that. It's when we crack, right? When we crack that we can let the light in, right? And to me, that's what this card is. Now that I'm seeing that fucking white bird there, like it's when we crack, we can let the light in.
So not so much rock bottom, but is it?
Well,
it can be,
but I find it interesting, like that you are finding the hope and the light and the positivity in the cards that are heavy and that are all about the mental health. Because as a reader who's read for ages, sometimes people come in and this is what you get, and they're in that state, and you do need to find that golden thread. And what I love is that you are showing us how you're finding your golden threads in these cards, and that it is giving the hope, because that is what it's about.
Yeah.
Is 100% what it's about. Like things might be shit, right? But we need to find that thread in there, because the reality is sometimes it is just fucked.
It is,
Yeah. Majorly.
Yeah, majorly. But what I'm really liking that, like we got to crack. And so mental health is not a bad thing at all. It's like when you crack, you can let the light in, right? But you've got to be brave enough to go that deep, to feel that thing, to experience a range of emotion that might be scary to feel. And some people automatically can go to that range of motion and other people cannot. They take a bit of scaffolding around to hold them safe while they're feeling that range of emotion. But once you feel that depth and that range of emotion, if you allow yourself to crack, you can let the light in. And that's when we see.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's when we see.
So then we're going on to the 7 of Cups. So
This has really got me
this is-
thinking this
yeah,
episode.
this
Yeah.
has, hasn't it? So that's the 7 of Cups, and you've got, again, exactly like what Lou just said. Which cup do I choose, and what if I choose the wrong cup? But you think about it, yes. And again, coming back to the reader, in my sense, it doesn't matter what cup you choose; it's the right one for that moment. Does that make sense? But you explain why you have chosen that card.
Because this comes as a story. It was a month shy of I've just done my first aid course for work and thought, I'll just get it done for work, maybe get some extra cash for it. And then a month later, I'm in a group, and one person in the group says, I've got a mate that needs first aid volunteers. And I thought, well, I've already just done my first aid. But then I also had an opportunity to go overseas to play hockey. But I said to myself, which one am I choosing? Because I'm going to Vegas pretty much a month around about the same time as I'd be going to do the hockey. And I thought, well, do I just let both opportunities go, or do I let the one go? So I chose their first aiding and thought, maybe I'll go overseas and play hockey next time. So that's why I just thought, have I chosen the right cup? Because it's either I chose one cup or I don't choose any. Because I couldn't choose both.
No, it'd been impossible at that point, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, and you thinking about and I know what you were thinking, but it's like, which do you choose? But again, what was going in my head if I chose to go and play hockey? Or I chose to do first aid, which one was going to not mess with your head, but tie your head up,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like you had that as well to think about, weren't you?
Yeah. Well, I think it was just what the cups are. It's the unknown.
Yes, basically, yes.
So yeah, so it's like looking at the cups now, you got 2 ladders next to 2 cups, and then can't tell if that one closest to us is a bat with the wing sticking out of it,
Can you see that?
just right in the
Oh,
corner.
yes.
But then you got the different color, which is the snake.
Which is the snake. So I'm just going to
So
show
I think if I chose that cup, would I be bitten?
Oh,
Oh, yes.
that's a good take. That's a good take on that. Yeah.
Can't really say burnt because it's not fire.
No,
No,
I
but
don't
I like
like
the, I
that
like
bitten,
the bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting, because from a spiritual perspective, we can't get it wrong. No matter what we choose, we can't get it wrong, because what is meant for us will always find us, and what we are seeking will also find us, right? So we can't get it wrong, right? However, we get in our head from a mental health perspective and overthink this shit
Yes.
and look at all the options
Yeah.
and get confused by the
And that's what
options.
you did. You got a little bit in that space where you were choosing which one do I choose. I've got a couple of opportunities. You were in your head.
Yeah, well,
You were, until you sort of sat down and worked out, okay, financially I can't go overseas twice.
yeah.
In the
I'm already going to Vegas
yes.
to watch my footy team play for the first time.
Yeah.
And that cost a bomb, still pay for it now. So only go to Vegas once if you can.
Yeah. I love that plug. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
To think about it from how you came to the conclusion that these cards related to mental health, overthinking, concerns,
Yeah.
confusion. Yeah, so it's not just the swords, right?
No,
Don't
it's
just think
not.
it's just the swords. Like, think a little bit
Well, outside the box, aren't you?
objectively, yeah.
As you look at the card, he's got one hand on a cup, but then he's also got the other hand thinking,
So he's
is this the right?
questioning.
Yeah, is this the right cup?
So he's really questioning.
Yeah.
So yeah, and even looking at that figure, the expression is like confusion, isn't it?
He's really questioning himself.
Yeah. So yeah, again, and as we say, cups are emotions, but it's not constrained to just one thing, is it?
No, not at
So
all.
don't
It's
think I
yeah.
don't think it has to be, oh, it's a cup, it's emotion. Well, there's so much more that comes in with that, as Mitch is just demonstrating.
Yeah.
So, and then we're moving on to the 7 of Pentacles. Now, again, like he said, he's a movie buff. So he said this related to the movie Inside Out 2, So you
Oh,
might have to explain that one.
oh, Inside Out 2, Inside Out 1, it's one of those kids' movies, which I was kind of disappointed it wasn't out when I was a kid. So different colours mean different emotions, red is anger.
Mm.
If you're looking at some YouTube, I'm a redhead, so get on my bad side, you'll find out pretty quickly. Yeah, all different colours. But
In the movie, you
In the
mean?
movie.
In the movie,
yeah,
it means, okay,
in the
cool.
movie,
Yep.
there's different colours for different emotions. In Inside Out 2 comes into puberty. So there's
So there's more emotions.
there's
coming out.
embarrassment, there's anxiety.
Oh, that's a big one.
Okay.
Yeah. And all that other stuff.
That comes with
Definitely gotta
puberty.
watch it, it's a great movie. But as the card is showing, the roots are touching two like multiple seeds and coming out as one plant.
So you're saying there's a lot of growth there.
Yeah. So when I do my first aid and someone gets hurt, especially for like a little girl or a child, I sort of try and make them smile at the end of it because they're hurt, they're crying, and then I say to them, well, the good part is, as they go, yeah, what's that? And I said, well, you're going to be the toughest person there now because you're not afraid to use your body. And they have a bit of a laugh at that and takes their mind off it. They go, he's got a point there. I say if you're willing, you can go back on. And I think they go, well, I can go back on after what you just said, to say, well, I'm not afraid to use my body, so the other players might get scared. Because
And you're saying even in that instance, they're growing, they're changing.
yeah, and I'm sort of giving them, here's another step. I'm not that guy that goes, oh yeah, you're fine, just go off. I'm sort of giving them a bit more confidence to say, well, you are hurt, but here's what's going to happen when you go back on. And all sort of that.
So yeah, it's calling, and looking at the card, it's calling on different strengths that they didn't know they had. Isn't it?
Yeah, interesting. Like when you talk about the movie and the movie being represented, the emotions in that movie being represented by different colours. And here we're looking at, as Trina pointed out before, the roots are touching, or maybe you did, Mitch, the roots touching the different emotion, you could say, and the growth that comes from allowing yourself to feel that emotion. Like,
And
never in a million
and
years.
not being stuck in one.
Not being stuck, but never in a million years would I have looked at the Seven of Pentacles being connected with thinking and mental health.
Yeah, but it is.
I can see that now,
Mitch has
particularly in
explained
that Seven of Pentacles. I'm like, in the Light Seers deck, rather. I'm like, I can see that. Yeah. Next.
Now we've moved on to Judgment.
Yeah.
So, and this is the Judgment card. And you have just said freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's basically what Judgment is. It's freedom. And this is quite literally, you can actually see the person letting go. Just go, no, I'm good. I'm free now. I'm good. So would you say that's letting go of anxiety? What would you say?
Well, it could mean a lot of things. It could mean letting go or turning into a new person.
Oh shit.
Fucking hell. So judgment means, right, traditionally, it means rebirth. And from rebirth, we are, that reborn, we into that new person. And I'm saying this because I want to reiterate that Mitch has not looked at the book.
Yeah.
Right. So he's got this just from having an open mind to look at the card, and that's the best way to work with it. Yes.
So, and then he's moving on to the Hierophant.
It's insane.
So, I'm going to stick there. So that's the Hierophant in the Light Seers, and you've got, again, recognizing how far you've come and how far you can go.
Yeah. So
you're not standing still.
No.
You might have got to this point and go, yay, I've achieved. But you're not going to say, well, this is all I can do. Yeah.
So from a mental health point of view, are you saying that your experiences can take you further like you did with the first aid piece?
Yeah. So
okay, cool. I see that.
10 years ago, I had anxiety of staying home alone. But now as time's gone on, I can just, when someone goes, yeah, I'm done now, yeah, okay, see ya. Like, I'd sort of like huff and puff and get into my own head thinking you're going out, how long are you going out for? When are you coming back? You know, these 20 questions that they just go, come back when I come back, or I'll come back at this time. But now I'm just like, okay, see ya.
So
So
you-
these are questions you were talking yourself through.
Yeah, so when I
Yeah.
was in the peak of my anxiety where no one really understood it,
Mm.
it was like, oh, you're just having another attack, you know, you're in your own head, like not really supporting, not really looking at it. It's just like, yep, okay, you're having one of your episodes again. But now it's sort of turned like, okay, have fun. I'll be here.
So you've realised
Wow.
that you've got certain strength and you can keep moving up and up and up.
Yeah. So I'm just like, well, because when I first had it, I didn't know what was happening. I always thought someone was watching me.
Mhm.
But now I'm just like, nope. Just like, okay, have fun.
That's pretty insightful, Mitch. So you've taken an experience, a
Yeah.
mental health experience, and you've gone, I now understand that I am not that experience. It
Mm.
is an experience.
Yeah.
It
And
doesn't make you.
it doesn't make you who you are. It's not who you are. It's just a part of what you have
Yeah, It's
experienced.
what made me who I am.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you're able to separate that.
Yeah.
That's really insightful.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, like that's a really good place to come from.
Yeah.
And now I can understand even more how you can see all of these as that mental health, like
Yeah.
see
I
your
think
whole journey
yeah.
here. Yeah,
I think it's fascinating.
it is fascinating.
Because you think so differently.
Yeah.
And it opens up all our eyes
Mm.
to things we've never seen before in the
Mm.
cards, which is just, well, I think it's beautiful.
I think it is too. And I think for myself, a lot of the insights you're talking about, they would come to me from an intuitive space,
Mm.
right? And there's reading the cards and then there's the intuitive space. But what I love about what you've done in the way that you're looking at this is that you have, by giving others permission to see a card for something else other than what the resources say, and really trusting that you've come to your own conclusion as to what I would have come to 40 years of reading intuitively. And you've done it in what
Couple
fucking
months.
time? Like just by
months.
going, well, based on my experiences and
Yeah.
looking at mental health, this is how I see that.
It's just-
That's really inspiring.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
And
is.
really empowering
Yeah,
for
so I'll-
those that are experiencing
Yeah.
mental health like fuck.
So I'll pull out a few cards and I'll just go, well, this is what I see, and then I'll go to the book and read to see what it actually means and see how much.
You connect it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
So you read you're feeling into the cards first,
Yeah. And then I'll go, well,
Then
I
it-
felt this, but what is it actually saying?
but you're trusting yourself more than you're going to the book.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
That's
like
what
it.
I love. And I love that you're kind of doing this reflective thing where it's,
Yes.
well, what did that mean for me? And how did I experience that? And where do I see that in the card?
Yeah.
And that's definitely an exercise
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome exercise
Yeah.
to do. Definitely one of the ways that I've shared for a long time,
Yeah.
but haven't necessarily given it a specific topic like
No,
this.
No, it's been fascinating.
And that's been really, really eye-opening for us. So yeah, I'm wondering how our readers
Yeah.
and our listeners and
Listeners.
our watchers and all of that are feeling about that. Now,
Yeah.
this is all just based on the Light Seers
And the
deck.
Light Seers deck.
So whatever deck you've got, go and grab it and have a look at, like, what topic do you want to look at? Do you want to look
Yeah.
at mental health? Because that's what we've done today.
Exactly.
And send us in
Exactly.
what that has been for you and how you've got there. Like, I'm absolutely fucking blown away at the Seven of Pence and how we got there from a movie
Exactly.
based on the colors here, and then the experiencing of that emotion, how that allows the growth, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Send in how you get there.
Yeah.
Let's
we'd love to
piece some
see
of
it.
this
Yeah.
together. I'd love for the community to start to come
Yeah.
together and see how this is actually working when we
Working,
take a
yeah.
different spin on what the
Yeah.
books normally guide
See it
us
with
at.
different eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Because
Yeah.
we're all different. We all see things differently, and we've got to start learning to trust what we get, that it's right for us. And just because the book says something differently doesn't mean that we're wrong. We are right.
Yeah,
So-
it doesn't mean you're wrong. Your
No.
experience is your experience, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, wow. I've really enjoyed that. I've learned a
Yeah.
lot from that.
Yeah, it's
Today,
it's been fascinating. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, let us know. Send us a message,
Yes.
reach out. Love to know what your thoughts are on that.
Let me know if you want me back.
Yes, definitely let us know about that. And I'd say that's a pretty
think
much
that's
a
yes.
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 Yeah. So yeah, there you go. That's
So,
today.
I hope you enjoyed today. Thank you, Mitch, for coming back.
Thank you
Thanks,
for having me.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we have loved that.
Okay.
So we will catch you, beautiful souls, next time.
See you later.
Bye.